What's up, heathens? I hope that you guys are doing swell today. I know that I'm doing pretty good. Now today we're going to be discussing a topic that I sometimes have a little trouble discussing with certain people, and that's whether or not atheism is a belief. So if you want to learn more about that, then please stay tuned. So there's been much heated discussion over whether or not atheism is a belief. And I just want to lay out right now that I don't consider atheism to be a belief. While I feel that some people can and have defined atheism to have a belief, if you want to use that in a conversation, that's fine, but that is not the way that I use the word atheism or atheist. My use of the word atheism and atheist comes from the most basic usage of it and the one that's most useful in any conversation that you can have on the internet. I do not feel like you need to force some kind of special definition of atheism in order to converse on the internet. I also don't think that you need to go to other people's channels and tell them that they are an atheist if they are trying to skirt around the whole issue. That's not meaning to demean the people that don't want to take up the label of an atheist and would rather stick with agnostic or something like that. I believe agnostic has very specific use. I feel that the pure agnostic state kind of muddies the waters between knowledge and belief. Here, I'm going to lay out how I define atheism, and you may call a dictionary fallacy on me, but without some kind of sense of what a word means, how else are we to communicate? And dictionaries are a good way to go about it. So theism is defined as a belief in a or multiple gods. So when the a prefix is appended at the beginning of a word, usually it entails a negative connotation with whatever that word means, meaning lack of, without, or not. So keeping that in mind, with theism being a belief in a god or gods, I would say that atheism is without a belief in God or gods, or a lack of belief of in God or gods, or not a belief in God or gods. But agnostic is in terms of knowledge, so if you're agnostic, you just don't know, or you don't think that we can know.
Hey guys, doing another video here.
Well, I can see you're doing another video. Thank you, Armored Christian. Yes, that's his actual name.
So atheism is a disbelief or lack of belief in the God or gods, in the existence thereof.
Well, yes, that is the technical definition. It is a lack of belief, at least the way that I implement it. There are other people out there that implement it in other ways. Some seem to indicate a somewhat of a knowledge of the existence of God, like saying, I lack a belief in God, or I do not believe in God, is the same thing as I believe no gods exist. Those are two different things. The I believe no gods exist indicates some kind of knowledge about the existence of a god or gods. Whereas the other one, being I don't believe in a god, or I lack a belief in a god, doesn't really address the knowledge thing. It just says that I don't have this belief.
And the definition of lack within the definition of atheism is the state of being without or not having something. An example is the case was dismissed for lack of evidence, meaning atheism. The definition of refusal within the definition of atheism is refusal to accept that something is true or real. Now the definition of agnosticism, a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence of God or nature of God or beyond this material universe.
Well, no, I mean, I get that a lot of people right now are wanting to apply, agnosticism as a belief, but agnosticism talks about what you know about God. It talks about knowledge. You can be agnostic on any certain topic. Like, I could be agnostic on whether or not EA is going to flounder because their whole Battlefront 2 thing is a flop. Like, I can be totally agnostic on that. I don't know. And that doesn't concern whether or not a God exists. So, strictly defining agnosticism as a belief that you don't know or nobody can know really muddies the waters when you're starting to talk about atheism and theism.
A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God.
Well, yeah, it's neither faith nor disbelief because it's discussing knowledge. Knowledge is a totally different subject than belief. Now, knowledge can inform our beliefs, but I don't think that our beliefs should inform our knowledge.
Now, technically speaking, atheists, you are all incorrect in your belief.
Oh, fuck! We're wrong, guys! I'll pack this shit up, get all this shit down, all this fucking shit right here, just fuck it all. God damn it, motherfucker.
Of atheism. I mean that because you should not be an atheist. You should be an agnostic.
Now, you see, this is where it really pisses me off, and I generally don't respond very well, like, in person. I mean, generally, if it's somebody that I know, I get really pissed off at them and I fly off at the handle. This is not the best way to react, and for those of you out there that I've done this to, I am profoundly sorry for losing my shit. When it's somebody that I don't know, like this asshole, the Armored Christian, I'm just gonna say, quit being an asshole. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that you need to change your faith because you're wrong about how you think about words. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that you need to be a Hindu because of what the fuck ever. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what you should believe or that you're wrong in any kind of way other than factual.
To claim you are an atheist is to at the same time say, without intentionally saying, is that you're stupid.
Oh, thank you, bub. I'm so glad you played our game today. Way to go directly to, oh, you're stupid, so quickly. You know, the best way to have this conversation is not to immediately come out and be like, hey, you're stupid. I know because I've gotten into several discussions where my fuck you switch got flipped early, and it just devolved from there. Regularly, I step away from it. So if you find yourself and your fuck you switch has been flipped, it might be better to just walk away from the conversation.
I don't mean this in a bad sense. Like,
you know, when has anybody ever, like, meant it in anything but a bad sense? Like, if someone's gonna come to you and be like, hey, you're stupid. Like, you're not exactly, like, that's not like a hello, that's not like, you stupid fuck! Like, nobody, you know, skips in and says you're stupid and with a happy smile on their face. Like, nobody ever does that. So, no, you do mean it in a bad sense. You're saying that, oh, you're just admitting that you're stupid. Oh, okay, well, fuck you too, buddy. I'm gonna go over here and eat my pot pie and not give a fuck about what you think. Not that you should really give a fuck what he thinks in the first place.
Like, I'm not trying to, like, throw insults at you. I'm just saying this is the logic that is implied here from the definitions that I just read.
No, it's not. You literally read the definitions a second ago. Here you are.
So, atheism is a disbelief or lack of belief in the God or gods, in the existence thereof. Now, the definition of agnosticism, a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence of God or nature of God. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God.
I don't get how that means that we're stupid at all. How does that imply that we're stupid?
And I did these directly off of the definitions on Google, so it's accurate and correct due to logic.
There's no logic in your fucking statement.
So, you guys should not be atheists. You should be agnostics. 100%.
Oh, thank you. Once again, second time in a fucking row telling me what I should believe.
And that's what I was before I even understood this, really. I was an agnostic about 4 or 5 years ago. Probably 5 years ago, actually. Maybe 6. Anyway, stop being an atheist. Start being an agnostic. That proves that you actually have a mind, an intelligent mind.
Actually, no, it doesn't prove that I have an intelligent mind. Yes, you did use dictionary definitions of things. And while using the dictionary in and of itself is not a dictionary fallacy, which I know some of you out there are, but in order to counter that with your own definition of whatever the fuck, you have to use the dictionary. The way to counter a dictionary fallacy is for you to bring up how there's multiple definitions, which I agreed to at the very beginning of this video, that people often define atheism to be like a knowledge or a belief that there are no gods. That's fine. I consider that to be a useless definition, and I prefer not to use that definition because it implies some kind of knowledge when the atheism word only deals with belief, like what you believe. I don't necessarily think that an atheist has to believe there are no gods. We already have words for these. That would be Gnostic Atheist, and then there's Agnostic Atheists. Because agnostic, Gnostic is a term for knowledge, and atheist and theist are words for your belief about a specific topic, and that being God.
To claim that you are an atheist is to prove to the world that you do not have an intelligent mind. Plain and simple.
No, I think you recording this video is proof that you don't have an intelligent mind. I mean, you're blatantly talking out of your ass at this point. You're not even using your mind at all. Obviously, it's not plain and simple because you failed to even grasp these simple concepts. Thank you, heathens, for joining me today. I hope that you will hit that like button if you did like or agree with my video here. Don't forget to subscribe down below. And make sure you stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.